Kiefer Crosbie coming off a first round KO of Alex Cowboy Oliveira of Rise FC. The new welterweight champion, potentially, no one really knows.
New welterweight champion with no bleeding belt. They left that part there, yeah. I signed the contract for a world title fight, but they never put a belt around me, so don't ask me, I don't know. There was a broken English barrier. I got there and there was no belt, so I don't know. The belt was with the first round KO. That was the
exactly.
That was the real title,
you didn't get the physical belt, but you did get a spectacular finish over a 22-fight UFC veteran. The biggest question coming out of this one, I think, for me, is how much money did Keen make on the pay-per-view stream?
Yeah, well, I didn't see a fucking penny of that was fairness to Keen. He's a lifesaver, because it was a bit of a nightmare. Everyone, I literally had thousands of people texting me, where do I watch this fight? And I had no answer for anyone. Do you know what I mean? It was supposed to be a YouTube link. They fucked that up, and then literally at the last minute, Keen was like, I'll just go live and give it to one of the boys. Came over with his Nilo, so he literally went live. The lad he flipped it around mid-fight, remember?
Yeah. He had the look of fear, like, oh shit.
He fucked it up, but thank God someone went live. So I think at one stage there was 750 people watching it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now it's on up in the thousands. So thankfully he went live and people could actually see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, it was a great performance. We'll get to the performance in a little bit, but I want to talk. We obviously spoke to you last week ahead of the fight. You talked about how important this one was for you. Going in against a guy like Cowboy, a 22-fight UFC veteran, on fight week, what was fight week like? Was it a little bit different? Very different,
yeah. I only really realised when I got there that I wasn't supposed to win this fight, you know what I mean? I was literally brought in to lose, you know what I mean? And it was definitely one of those set-up type fights, you know what I mean? It was a Brazilian rent show, Brazilian promoters, Brazilian people against a Brazilian legend, you know, and like in the back of my head I was like, fuck it, it's a fight, you know, but when I got there I was like, okay, like no one's speaking English, no one's letting me know the schedule, no one's letting me know nothing, you know what I mean? I was literally brought in to lose, and I kind of started embracing the underdog type things, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I'm brought to lose, we'll see on fight night, you know what I mean, what's going to happen, but at the same time I was a bit nervous that, you know, the judges could have been a bit fucking, you know, biased, and then the ref could have been, like, you know, I was thinking of all them things which I shouldn't have been, but my goal was to just like, listen, just finish this person. It's a fight. If I get a finish, doesn't matter what the crowd are saying, doesn't matter what the judges are doing. So my whole goal all week was to get a finish, and I got it in the first round, so I couldn't have gone better.
And was it, obviously, you know, you had interactions with Cowboy throughout the week, with weigh-ins, etc. Was there any animosity? Was it respectful?
Yeah, beforehand he was hostile. Yeah, beforehand there was a bit of like, you know what I mean, staring, and there was no beef, but like he was definitely there to kill me. He was doing an interview saying he brought a gang over from Brazil and he's going to knock me out in the first round, and he's not here to fuck around. And when we got to the weigh-ins, if you've seen the weigh-ins, I mean, there was about fucking 150 Brazilian people, and
it looked like, so it was in a shopping centre.
It was hostile, yeah. I went to a shopping centre. It was fucking mad. Actually, what, did you see the weigh-ins?
I couldn't really see the weigh-in, but I saw like the aftermath.
I had 5 people with me. Yeah, they had literally about 150 people, and we were making more noise than they were making. Do you know what I mean? Because once Lee started bleeding with the whole layers, the whole place just started erupting, and they started saying, "Ooh, vamos, like you're gonna die." Do you know what I mean? So they started fucking chanting that, and I was like, right, this is on now, and it was we were all huddled into like a little circle. So I was literally ready to fight. I was like, this is gonna kick off. If you know what I mean? If Cowboy goes near me, I'm gonna let them go, and then it's just gonna be chaos. But he was very intense at the weigh-ins, and so was I. I was more calm than intense. I was just focused on like staying calm, and the whole story of that was to be like calm in the chaos on fight night. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to rise to the chaos. I wanted to remain calm because I knew it was going to be a chaotic fight. I just knew by the whole thing. He's a chaotic type of fighter. He's a bit of a wild man, as we said in the last interview. And so am I, but I wanted to control myself. I didn't want to like gas out in a minute. You know what I mean? And then the two of us are just bollocks. You know what I mean? But I wanted to pick my shots better and make sure my shots counted. And I know it was chaotic, but I still was calm in the chaos. If you watch it,
when the fight started and you started fighting, were you kind of in that calm mode? Were you thinking, right, I'm going to be the sniper that you talked about last week?
Yeah, it was funny, do you know what I mean? Because I think the most important part about fighting is adaptation, do you know what I mean? And after it, like, I write a lot of stuff down after my fights, and after that fight, like, I done a lot of self-talk in the fight, and I obviously wanted to play it safer and be on the back foot and move around, counter his shots more. He was literally just in my face the whole time. And in the moment I was like, I can't play on the back foot and be a sniper because he's literally trying to take my head off. So I have to plant my feet and let them go because he's standing right in front of me. And it was like he wasn't trying to stay away. Normally he's a counter striker. He stays away and lets you come in. And when you come in, then the wilderness starts. But he didn't want me to come in. He wanted to rush me. So it was almost like he had no respect for me. He was just, and in fairness, he split me with a right hook. It was a hard right hook, banged it in. And as soon as he hit me, I was like, fuck this. I'm letting them go. Do you know what I mean? I'm biting down and I did. And as soon as I started letting them go, I dropped him. I KO'd him basically. After the fight, he said, like, after that, he seen the stars and he was on the ground. He didn't know where he was. Okay. But the veteran in him fought through it, went into his close guard, elbowed him. His eyes were literally rolling in his head. He recovered nice. He elbowed me. I have stitches in the back of my head here as well. Yeah. Yeah, he split me back, the back of my head open with an elbow. And it was a bit crazy. He recovered nice. And in the moment, I was like, right, calm down, because I did this in the past. I blew me low too early. And then I'm in a scrap and there's only a minute and a half going. That's not a nice place to be. So I had to just kind of remain focused, stay calm, slow the heart rate down, pick the shots. And when we got back up again, I dropped him again. And again, I didn't want to rush in. And it was just kind of, it was like that in there. It was like I was hurting him. So I knew, right, I'm hurting him over and over. But the right shot will come at the right time. And then when I just seen he was literally wobbling all over the shop, I just put it on him. I was like, I'm not even tired here, so I'm just going to go for it. And I mean, empty the tank. And when the referee was saying, like, fight back, Cowboy, I was like, fuck this, just bite down and keep hitting, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he was literally on the way down the fence. In fairness, we talked afterwards, he said he was leaning on the fence for balance, which means he was literally about to go down, do you know what I mean? If you watch it back, he couldn't really stand properly, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone can disagree with the stoppage, all right. I was going to ask, like, you have a few stitches there, but other than that, all good and nice. And literally, he hit me one good shot, do you know what I mean? There was one good shot he hit me, like, it was a jab right hook, it was the second combo he threw an uppercut right hand, it kind of touched me a little bit, it wasn't nothing in it really, and then it was a jab right hook as I stepped in and it banged me hard, like it was a cracker of a shot, to be honest, and that's what split me. And then after that, then I was like, right, he's not moving back as much as I thought he was. He's standing right in front of me, so it was like a perfect target to just let them go, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think if a lot of people may have only seen just maybe the video of the finish or something like that, but it wasn't, as you mentioned, it wasn't just all plain sailing. He started strong, he put the pressure on, he hit you with a few nice shots at the start, and I was going to ask, like, he cut you early. Was it that shot that kind of turned you from the sniper to the frontline soldier that you talked about? Yeah, a little bit, do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that the range, like, he's a very long range reach, you know what I mean? And I assumed he'd stay away and try to counter strike me. Like, if I was training against me, I'd probably say, like, you know, waiting him, Kiefer's going to come in, he's going to brawl. That's what people would assume, do you know what I mean? So I assumed he would think, let him come to you and counter him. But do you know what I'm saying? But he didn't. He came to me. Yeah. So I didn't expect him to just rush me. Which, again, looking back at it now, he didn't respect me. Do you know what I mean? Thinking he's just going to walk through me. And even walking, like when he was walking into the cage, I was standing in the cage, I was staring at him. He was doing like dance moves and he was dancing. And he really was trying to, like, get into. He was waving at everyone and high fiving everyone. And I was thinking in that moment, okay, you want to overlook me? We'll see in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? When you jump into this cage, this fella is here to just walk through me. And it's not going to happen. Like, it was nearly boosting my confidence the happier he was, because he wasn't as focused as me. I was in killer mode at that stage. He was belly dancing and messing and do you know what I mean, having fun, and that's great, but I wasn't here to have fun. I was here to take him out, do you know what I mean? And I think he was too, like, I'm just going to run through this bloke, you know what I mean? I think that was his mindset, and it didn't work out for him. Yeah, as you mentioned, you caught him with a lovely left hook and a right, I think it was a right straight or a right hook to drop him. From there, it was just a hectic, crazy fight. I saw a few people saying, you know, round of the year type stuff. A fight like that has to boost your chances. You know, you're calling for the UFC next. In a way, I know you wanted it to be kind of calm, collected, sniper like, but in essence, was a kind of a crazier fight. Kind of, does it work to your advantage a bit more? Well, do you know what? I've come to terms with the fact that I just fucking love fighting. You know what I mean? I do. I love standing toe to toe and just going to war. Do you know what I mean? And maybe it's not the smartest thing to do. Maybe it's, you know, it's not good advice to give young fighters. It's not the right thing a coach would never say go to war, you know. I just fucking am built for it, do you know what I mean? I love it. I will stand toe to toe with any man on the planet. If I'm fit and I'm in shape and I have notice and I can put a good stint of training, I'm lean and I'm ready, I will stand toe to toe with anyone in the world. Anyone, I don't give a fuck, I love it, do you know what I mean? I'm bleeding built for it. It's who I am, it's just what I do. And I can play the distance game and the point karate game too. I'm kind of like a karate boxer in a way, do you know what I mean? I can do the sniper thing and I can play it safe, and I've gone to decisions and not got a blemish on me in a fight, and I've also bit down and gone to war, and every time I go to war I blow up. Every time I stand toe to toe I blow up. Look at me, so I can't even look at my phone, man, these days. It's fucking hopping, do you know what I mean? The amount of people that are just, because they love to see it. I'm in this sport as well because I'm a fan, I love the sport, and I don't think I've ever seen a tit for tat decision where people are staying away that I'm like, that was the best fight I've ever seen. You know, it's always the fights you're like, oh shit, you're jumping out of your seat. I'm that type of fighter, do you know what I mean? And maybe it's not the smartest thing in the world, but I fucking love it, do you know what I mean? I love just having a knock and that's it, and what can I do, do you know what I mean?
I mean, you've talked about this before, like going back to the Josh Plant fight in Bama.
Yeah. That blew me up.
Exactly, that was a crazy one.
That put me on the map, really, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and that night was a weird one for me because I had two bad injuries. I had a torn QL muscle and I had a detached AC joint, two really bad injuries, and that happened 2 weeks prior to that fight. So like for 2 weeks before that I couldn't lift my arm, and I had a detached QL as well, torn, so I couldn't rotate. So I just took painkillers that day, and I was like, just get through it, do you know what I mean? Like no matter what. And then once I started, I was in so much pain, I just got angry, and I got emotional on that one. I shouldn't have. I let the crowd get to me, and it was my first co-main event. I sold a load of tickets, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to war with this bloke, you know what I mean? But after that, it was like, okay, needle mover. I went from fuck all like followers to just I blew up. I went everywhere. Went on Lad Bible. It was put me on the map and got me a contract to Bellator, you know what I mean? So maybe not all fights I'll go to war, I suppose, but I have it in me, and I said this in the interview last week, you know what I mean? If I have to be a dog, I'll be a dog, or if he's playing the distance game, I can beat him to that too. But it ended up being a bit of a dog fight, and I came out the top dog. So
going from that pivotal fight in your career, you know, getting the shine off the Josh Plant fight to this one, is this the biggest win of your career?
Definitely, yeah, 100% the biggest win in terms of like, it's funny, even like when I was staring at him across the cage, part of me was thinking, this is fucking deadly, do you know what I mean? I used to watch him, do you know what I mean? I used to study him when Gunny fought him obviously years ago, and I remember like being excited watching Gunny fighting someone so like big of a name, and I watched loads of his fights over the years, you know what I mean? So he was an exciting fighter, and I was a fan of his, you know what I mean, fighting style, and it was the first time that when he was walking out to the cage, I was like, okay, this is like the UFC in a way. He was in the UFC 12 months ago, fighting Kevin Holland, fighting all these people, do you know what I mean?
Rachmaninoff.
All these people, do you know what I mean? He's fought fucking everybody, the who's who, 22 fights in the UFC. So when he was walking out, I did get a little bit like, this is mad, do you know what I mean? It was a little taste of like, okay, that if I do get into the UFC, watching these people, it's nothing to me. And you're seeing it, like I perform better like that, do you know what I mean? I perform with a bit of, this was definitely the most nervous I was before the fight. Like I had that fear in me to be like, right, you gotta fucking pull this out of the bag here, do you know what I mean? I put a good stint of training into this. I didn't fuck around, but I knew a lot was riding on this win. And not only a split decision win, I didn't want that. I didn't want to go to decision, it's tit for tat, who won, I don't know, give it to him. Like, I wanted to fucking put my mark on it, you know what I mean? And go out there and fight, and I did, and a 1st round finish over such a fucking legend. 40 fights, you know what I mean? 22 in the UFC. He's a big name, bigger name than me, and I took him out, and it was a great fight, you know what I mean? It wasn't a boring fight by any means. So
do you take confidence from putting on a performance like that when you're the most nervous you've ever been for a fight, going in there, getting the 1st round finish over a guy like him? Does that give you additional confidence for the rest of your career?
100%. Like I'm not injured, I'm not concussed, I didn't get hurt, I got cut. Cuts are mad because like, they look worse. It's superficial. Yeah, it looks worse. It's like tearing paper. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a cut, and he caught me a nice punch. But you know what I mean, you're not going to get into a fight with someone like him without taking a few licks. You know what I mean? He's such a fucking experienced fighter. He's fought everyone. He's not going to be afraid to throw punches at me. Do you know what I mean? And I knew that going in. Like, a lot of people that I fight, they have the fear in them that I'm going to catch them and I'm going to hurt them. And when I do hit them, you see them crumble and they shoot. He wasn't going to do that because he's been there with fucking everybody. So I knew, like, I'm going to crack him. He's still going to come forward. That's why, like, when I dropped him, I walked in slowly because I knew I can't dive on this lad like I would dive on like a 4-0 or a 5-0 lad, because they have an experience and they probably bottle it, do you know what I mean? He's not going to bottle getting dropped or cut or hurt, or I seen one of his fights with Yancy Maduro, and he broke his nose. If you remember, in like the 1st round, his nose shattered. He fought through it. He had no nose, breathing out blood, pouring out of him, and he fought. And I seen the warrior in him, so I knew I can't just dog it out and expect him to drop and give up. He's not gonna do that. Do you know what I mean? I have to bring the quit out in him, but in a more efficient way. Do you know what I mean? And that's why when I dropped him, I walked slowly and approached him with caution, because again, he's a dangerous animal. Like the most dangerous animals are the ones that are injured. Yeah. Do you get me? They're gonna swing at you, and he did. He tried. When I walked in, he was just swinging with his life. At one stage, I clipped him a left hook. He swung a right hook. I pulled, and he fell because he put his life into it, thinking if I catch him with this one, I'll get him. Do you know what I mean? And it was a nice little pull, and yeah, it was a bit of a fucking mad fight, but thankfully I came out unscathed, a little scratch, and that's it. Yeah, so
I think, as you said there, the ref gave him you were kind of stalking him around the cage for a while, Keane, and the lads in the corner were screaming for him to stop it for a while. I think it was, he gave him every chance, and he
could have been stopped a few times, to be honest. And even his corner were happy. They talked to me afterwards. They said they're happy it was done at that stage, because he didn't have it in him to keep going. I was just going to get more hurt. I wasn't slowing down. He was stuck on the fence. I was elbowing the head on him. It was going to get worse. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't going to get better from there. So
so obviously you got the hand raise, and then you were able to call for your shot. So and I will say a massive credit to Keane and to Andre Bravey Media for capturing the moment, because it's the biggest moment of your career, and it's one you've talked about where this was the one to get you over the hump, to have that UFC veteran on your record, and to be able to call your shot to the matchmakers and to Dana White. You then did. I think it was lightweight, welterweight, heavyweight, I don't give a fuck. That was your moment to call for, I want the UFC next, right?
Yeah, man, that's it. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? What more do you have to do? Honestly, what more do you have to do? I know there's no set criteria. There's no do this, do this. Look, what the fuck do I have to do here? Do you know what I mean? I am the biggest name right now. Do you know what I mean? That's unsigned. I'm not signed. I'm a free agent. So in Ireland, that's a free agent. Who's a bigger name than me? That's a free agent. This big and this willing and this exciting. After beating such a legend like this, I'm coming off 2 back-to-back 1st-round KOs. And I want the UFC. It's not like, I have other options. I can go elsewhere. I can sign with someone if I want to. I can get my manager to pick up the phone and go, listen, get me. I don't want Ant-Man. I just want this UFC. Do you know what I mean? I want to be in the octagon. I want to represent Ireland. This is more to me than just a few quid. Do you know what I mean? This is I could go somewhere else. I could do even fucking this celebrity boxing shit. I'm getting offered mad shit. I'm getting offered all that as well. I'm getting offered, do you know what I mean? I can do all that. I could fucking even retire if I wanted to. I don't have to do this, but I want to do it. Do you know what I mean? This is my only goal, is to get into that UFC, and I know I'll do well. I relish the chaos, and I relish the high level fights. You know what I mean? I do better in these pressured fights, and I think I'll do very well in the UFC. And I just think right now is a perfect fucking time, and I have experienced the big show already in the past. I have more experience in a fight. My record is 11-1 now at the minute. I know it says 10-3. Don't believe that. I'm 11-1. I'm a finisher. I'm a killer. So
that Mike Jackson fight.
And, I mean, that's a KO. You know what I mean? And then even the Charlie Leary fight. I mean, that's a no contest. I didn't lose. I was off me still ready to fight. Some inexperienced doctor stopped it. The only man to ever beat me was Georgie, really, as a fair fight. If you want to be fair, he's the only one that actually beat me. Do you know what I mean? So, even it's just the way it is. That's who I am, and I've learned so much from all them lessons that now I'm at a stage where I can go out and finish a fella like Cowboy in a round, and not only finish him, but I think everyone will agree that it is the round of the year, it is the fight of the year so far. People were buzzing, man. My phone hasn't stopped. So if that's on the go, boy, and Dana's got tagged about 50,000 times, and every time I go on my phone, there's like Dana White, everyone's just tagging him and everything. So I mean, they know what's up now. Do you know what I mean? This is what I want. So whatever we can fucking do, let's just get this done now and give me a shot. You know what I mean?
I think also you surprised some people. There are some people out there, you hear everything. They're like, "Geez, this is a fucking tough fight, Cowboy Oliveira. I don't know if you can get this done." And then to go out and do that, you're also kind of turning doubters into believers at the same time. When we spoke last year, it was ahead of your Centurion FC, and we were talking about parting ways with Bellator, and you had said you're on the phone to your management the next day, or not even the next day, being like, I want the UFC next. I imagine you were probably onto your management right after that win, were you?
First thing I said, Audie texted me saying congratulations, Kiefer, and I just said UFC next, Audie, I'm ready to go, let's get it done. So first thing I said, first person I text, you know what I mean, this is it, it's just me goal. Do you know what I mean? When you have a goal and you're as determined as I am, I'm a psychopath. I write something down, I'm going to do it, and that's it. And I know you say, I don't read mad comments, and I don't read into shit. I've seen people down me, and I've seen people saying, oh, Cowboy, you know, he's going to get smoked, and I put that yoke up on my Instagram. Do you remember that one? I can't remember her name, some Elwyn bleed. Angela, so remember, you're going to get annihilated. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of that. Do you know what I mean? I just seen an Irish woman's name, and I was like, cheek of an Irish woman to text me something bleeding like that. But I've seen a few people talking shit and saying Cowboy's going to run through me. It's a handy one for him, and you know. But I looked at it.
I think that underlines the win, though, right?
100%, and this is what fighting's all about, man. If you're willing to fight and you train correctly, you can win. It's as simple as that. If you're I train people in this gym who haven't even fought professionally and they're animals. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? If you're willing to fucking fight and you're going in there with confidence, you can win a fight. It's that simple. And I'm that person that, like, I genuinely, hand on my heart, believe I can beat anyone on the whole planet. I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't care if you're Kamzat. I don't care if you're, you know, these, you'd never hang with him. I'll fight anyone. And once I have a stint to train and I'm fit, see, sometimes fighters just lose because they don't have preparation, or you got 3 weeks notice, and you should have been fit. It's not the same. If you have a good 10-week training stint and you're resting right, eating right, training right, and you're focused, you can win. It's the simplest, and that's what I believe anyways. You know what I mean? I believe I can beat any of these people, so I don't know, it is what it is. I've done my part.
Yeah.
Let them do theirs. Like, let's just hope this fucking works out now, and let's get it done, you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's an interesting time. Ian Gary's obviously in the UFC. Conor, of course, is in the UFC. But SBG Ireland, Johnny Walker, Lucy Pudilova, Brad Katona and Lee Hammond both on tough. It seems there's a bit of a swell again for maybe a second coming of Irish MMA, with not just in Bellator, not just in PFL, but in the UFC also. Guys even up north like Paul Hughes knocking on the door. Do you feel, from an Irish perspective, that there's a bit of a movement again, and there could be some traction going here where the UFC could look at the next wave of Irish fighters and hopefully eventually bringing a UFC back to Dublin?
1,000,000%. Like, why wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? We have fucking serious fighters in this country, like really good fighters, and the second coming should be coming soon. Do you know what I mean? Like it was in 2015, was it? When Paddy and Conor and Cottle and all them. Like, I remember watching that fight, and I was training with the boys back then, and it was just such a magical night that they haven't recreated yet. Do you know what I mean? And even to this day it stands. People always say that was the best event, and it was only 9,000-10,000 people in that event. How they haven't done that again is beyond me. Do you know what I mean? How they haven't shown the light over here again and signed more of it is crazy to me. And I know people are Bellator and they're going to their ways, but for me it's like, you know what I mean, I'm ready to go. Let's fucking go. Do you know what I mean? Put me on a card. I'm a bigger name than most of the guys that are on the European scene anyway in UFC. Do you know what I'm saying? I pull serious numbers. I fight in the UFC, everyone from Ireland is going to watch it. The whole country is behind me now. Do you know what I mean? So I know that, and I appreciate that. I don't see, even from a marketing point of view, why they wouldn't sign me. Do you know what I mean? I pull a lot of eyes in this sport, and the way I fight as well is going to be exciting. So I don't know, I think my vision is to obviously get into the UFC, but then again, as I said in the last interview, another separate goal is to get the fucking thing back here to the Tree Arena and do like a second coming type thing like the boys did all them years ago. So it'd be nice to have another fight night in the Tree Arena with loads of us on it. That'd be so
amazing. Even another one I didn't mention was Danny McCormick's only after winning the title. So there's another.
There's loads, man. There's loads. Like, and whoever wants it can get it. Do you know what I mean? That's the other thing. You just gotta call for it. You know what I mean? You just gotta open your fucking mouth and put the work in and do it and say it, speak it into existence. That's what it comes down to. You can keep your mouth shut and your head down and work hard all you want. You gotta say these things and go out and do it, and that's what I'm doing here. So who knows what the future holds, but
as you say,
I have me pen in me pocket, so if Dana's watching, I'm ready to go, mate.
Well, that was going to be my kind of final question is, you've done the job now. We talked, you couldn't just talk about, right, I want to be in the UFC and then go out there and lose to Cowboy and expect it. You went out there, you did your job, you got the first round finish. It wasn't a decision, it was a very entertaining fight. You called your shot on the night to Dana, but if you were to maybe look into the camera and speak to the matchmakers,
it's the same
what would you say?
Man. They know who I am, do you know what I mean? They know where I'm at, do you know what I mean? They know what's up, they know what I want. I've never in my whole 32 years on this planet asked anyone for anything. Everything I've ever achieved, I've achieved off my own back. I've never got a handout, I've never got help, didn't finish school, never went to college, I've never even had an actual solid job, but I've worked my bollocks off to get where I am, do you know what I mean? I've worked harder than anyone that you've ever met in your entire life. No one's handed me nothing, and I've never begged a man for that, and I'm not going to start now. So me calling for Dana, it was more, yeah, I'm calling for it, I'm asking for it, but I'll never beg a man for nothing. Do you know what I mean? If you don't want to give me, no fucking problem, I'm going to keep working hard anyway. So that's who I am as a man. Do you know what I mean? I'm not asking for no favours or handouts, but I've put the fucking work in, I've beat these people, I'm an exciting big name, I'm ready to go. So what the fuck else do I have to do here? Do you know what I mean? So that's the way I'm seeing it now. That's my mindset. So hopefully it works out.
And I suppose the reason why I was asking that was like, why you? What separates you? What about your fighting style separates you from?
Okay, first of all, look at the fight the other night, and you remind me what's a more exciting fight you've seen this year. Just off the top of your head, what's a more exciting fight that you think, oh no, well, in fairness, Kiefer, this is a more exciting, bigger numbered fight that everyone's talking about and blown up. Every time I can fight like this, it works like that. Do you know what I mean? I have big traction, I have big following, everyone just wants to see me fight, and it's the way I'm going to fight until the day I die. Do you know what I mean? Until the day I hang them up. That's how I am. So, and I mean, I'm Irish at the end of the day as well. They need more Irish in the UFC. It's, you know, there's like what, 100 American fighters in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? We need more Irish too. So, and the fact that I'm bleeding asking for it, so that's what it should say, yeah. Because I fucking want to be in the UFC. I don't know, do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I've done my job, so let's hope they do theirs. Yeah.
Well, look, I don't think anyone can deny that you've put your best foot forward. You got the finish. It was an incredible fight, great performance, best of your career. I agree with you in that regard. And yeah, it would be great to see you in the UFC. And fingers crossed, not only yourself, but hopefully some more Irish as well.
All of us, man. Yeah, all of us. You know what I mean? And obviously, it's because of Conor. The light is over here now. Do you know what I mean? He's the biggest fighter of all time. Really, do you know what I mean? He's changed combat sport. He changed the game, literally for everyone. Do you know what I mean? He changed the trajectory of the whole fucking thing. So, and he's literally from around the corner. You know what I mean? He's one of the boys, and it's just because of him that people even know that MMA exists on this small island. Thankfully, do you know what I mean? He blew up so much, but it would be nice that more of us can come in right behind him. Do you know what I mean? He's done such a fucking great job and changed the game. It'd be nice if more of us came in and had air fights too, and, you know, showed what the fighting Irish is all about. Because I genuinely believe we're the best fighting country on the planet. Do you know what I mean? And for 5 million people, small little island, we're, you know, up there with the best of them. And boxing and MMA and every combat sport, we always excel. So I truly believe that. Do you know what I mean? But, so hopefully it all works out. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to leave it. Kiefer Crosbie coming off a fantastic win over Alex Cowboy Oliveira. Stay tuned to SevereMMA for further updates. Hopefully we'll have some news, some good news soon.
Let's go.
And then we've also got, you know, as far as UFC, Lee Hammond, Brad Katona going to be competing in Tough in May, so look out for that too. But yeah, appreciate the time.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Fair play to you, mate. Thank you, mate.